Oh, and there's Jerry Lynn. And you are live.
Okie dokie. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the February 3rd meeting of the 150th Anniversary Steering Committee. Susan, can you take a roll, please?
Robert Blank,
Here.
Walter Bordeaux,
Here.
Kathleen Marie Clark.
She's here. She's just
I
muted.
see you, Kathy. Bill DeMayo,
Here.
Melanie DePampolis, Joe Dubin,
Here.
Michael Fox, Eileen Francolino,
Here.
Gail Kelly, Anna Kubish,
Here.
Geraldine Nagel,
She was here.
She's here.
Allison Mankey,
Here.
Nancy Mankey,
Here.
Max Turgeon.
Here.
Is Mike Fox here?
No.
No, okay. Thank you.
Very nice. Good attendance today. Okay. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months worth of minutes. I hope so. Take a little gander through them. Did anybody get to read them? Can we make a motion to have them approved, or what's up?
Move to accept.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Do we have anybody here from the public?
Don't
Going
think
once,
so.
going twice? Nobody from the public. Okay, so we don't have to worry about remarks on public participation. I didn't attach any correspondence. The only correspondence I've had was an email from the health director, but we can talk about that a little later when we're talking about what's going on at Indian Hill. Actually, that's next up on the business, so I guess we got to get into this. We need to make a decision, go or not tonight, because if we're gonna have this event in April, we really have to start selling tickets this week. Because it's, you know, the beginning of April, this is the beginning of February, people need some notice. I emailed the town manager to ask if this was allowed, if, you know, things were open, things were closed, what his recommendations were. He said, Eileen, please see the response from the director. May be a bit risky to have in April, but really, who knows? Tough call unless it's outside. So the health director wrote back to me after I said, you know, are we allowed to have this? What's your recommendation? He said, I am hopeful that by April we may be in a place that will allow us to have these types of gathering. That being said, outdoors or a combination of indoor outdoor may be the best thing to plan for. So that's where we left it. That was he's not saying yes, he's not saying no. He says basically indoor outdoor is probably the best thing. What are you guys' thoughts and feelings on the 150th ball, mayor's ball, whatever we're gonna call it?
I think
Anybody wanna
as much as I'd like to,
raise
I
their
think
hand? Say something? Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
as much as I'd like to go forward with it, I think.
You're muted.
I think
No, he's not muted.
can you
I can hear him.
I can hear him.
Again.
is
Who's muted?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.org. Merlin, Welsh, Mirden, Cornish, Marshin, Breton, Mershin is a
Excellent.
mythic figure prominently featured in the legend of King Arthur and best known as an enchanter or wizard.
You got a window open, Eileen.
I do.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
As much as I'd like to go forward in April, I think it's just going to be too soon and people are going to be reluctant to, I think people might be reluctant to buy tickets, and weather-wise, April is iffy to be an indoor-outdoor event, so I mean, I think we should have it, but not in April.
I agree.
I
Okay,
do too. Can we like shoot like for the fall time?
we could. We're gonna have like the 152
I
anniversary.
know,
By the time
no,
we
it's
get to
just
have it,
fun.
it's so crazy.
But I agree. I just think April is a little too soon because,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm okay with it, but I still think there's a lot of people out there that are just not comfortable being in social places with crowds.
Especially it'll be crowded and, you're gonna be eating and drinking, dancing. Maybe you might dance with a mask on, but you're not gonna eat or drink with a mask on, so we're in an
Right.
unmasked area.
Yeah.
And you
plus we-
figure, go ahead. I'm
Sorry.
sorry, Susan.
Sorry, Anna. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think, I mean, I'm hoping a lot of people buy tickets, but I think a majority of our ticket sales are gonna come from, our age and older probably, And I think those are the age gap that is more concerned about being out in these events.
Okay. Susan, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, and we don't even have enough time to figure out a theme, to figure out, what we're gonna have for food, if we're gonna have any sponsors. We really need more time.
Exactly. Yeah,
There's
I
just
agree.
not enough time.
I'm not really worried about the food. We have a menu to pick from and you pick A, B, and C and you're done. I mean, it's not our,
Oh, I know, but,
Um,
I don't want, we're having this celebration to celebrate I don't want crappy food.
oh, I know,
want
I
good
know, I know,
food.
I know.
I want
get
it to
you.
be nice. I want to pay,
Well,
if I'm gonna be paying, $75 a head or whatever, I want to have nice food. I want to have good food.
well, I would hope that anything they serve up there is good. I mean, I think that's why we decided to go there. I'm not,
Right.
my concern isn't the food. My concern is COVID, to be honest with you. Regardless of what we have, whether we end up having to be able to have a sit down versus a buffet, the food's going to be okay. That's the least of our problem. I think our problem is, COVID. And then the other problem is if somebody buys a ticket and they get COVID and they can't come, do we refund them their money? And how do we refund money? And how does that all work? It gets to be quite a complication. So the other problem is that when we looked at this in the beginning, Indian Hill books up very quickly. And I think because it had been closed for so long to big events, that those people who had postponed their weddings or postponed their celebrations have taken a lot of the dates. So we're going to be, pushed out quite a bit. Does anybody else have anything to add?
I'll just throw in, I agree that even without COVID, I think we'd have a hard time putting something on by April. I think people, I personally pick and choose restaurants with giant booths where I can sit in the corner. So I wouldn't be comfortable if it's kind of where it is right now. I don't think you can do this kind of thing in the summer. Do you agree? I mean, I think people are too busy. I don't know. I just don't picture this kind of event in the summer that's not a wedding where people are going to prioritize that. Do people still go away in the summer? So to me, fall sounded like a more appropriate time to do it.
Yeah.
The only other thing I thought about is about doing it in the summer was to tie it into extravaganza somehow, if we could push it into that celebratory week of somehow that we could mix it all together. Max, what did you have to add, please?
Yeah, I know last meeting we explored possibly doing it outside at Indian Hill. I did
Mhm.
call over there and they just don't have the seating
No.
capacity to do it.
Mhm.
In the back patio or up top. I can assure everybody the food there is excellent. I eat there a couple times a week during golf season. It's very good. Even during a large event, a banquet, it is very good. I think doing it in the summer might be a good idea as opposed to the fall. Listen, there's always going to be a reason not to do something. I almost feel like we just need to do it, put it on the schedule sooner rather than later. I think April now, that's 2 months out. That's probably too quick, even putting COVID aside. But I think the sooner the better, and just kind of getting on the schedule and getting it going, even if that means late May. COVID is probably going to be here for a long time, so we just kind of need to decide if we want to do it or not. But April probably is too quick. I do agree.
I don't expect that there would be a date available in May, June, probably, or July, probably even August. When I got that date in April, that was one of the few that was available. That was in probably December that we were gonna have it in November. So maybe that was in the fall, actually, sometime that I got that date from them, and they were pretty booked up. So should I give them a call tomorrow and see what's available? Does that sound satisfactory?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds,
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Okay.
and
Um,
obviously cancel April, but,
Yeah, okay.
I have a
Go ahead, Geraldine.
question.
Go ahead.
Okay, also have to check on the band.
Yes,
too.
it was a DJ, yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah. They can have to do weddings too.
Yeah, Max, when you talk about the back patio, is that the one that faces the golf course, or is there something behind?
Yeah, so there is a patio on the other side. So the front, when the facing the golf course is like up top with the road and the gazebo.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
also a back patio. The capacity of the back patio could maybe fit 35, 40 people. And up front, they only have so many tables that they can do up there. And, I don't know how it's zoned, if they can even take up that much of the road. So when I talked to Erica, she said you couldn't do more than like 30 people up on top there. And I don't mean the patio, but I mean sometimes they set up on the drive up there. They'll
Yeah.
put a couple tables.
Yep,
Because that patio is nice, but it's not very big. So, in total, you could probably maybe get 40, 50 people out there.
okay, Nancy?
Yeah, but if you have like the patio or any of the areas, maybe you can have the doors open, and that would allow for air to flow through, and people might feel more comfortable too. You can walk in and out.
but it also depends on what time of year, because if it's warm, you're gonna want
right. Yeah,
the doors shut with the air conditioning on.
true. Yep.
Or if it's raining. So Max, they will put tables in that road?
Yeah, they do it in the summer sometimes. Not many, but they do put some out there. But for what we want to do, it's not. I mean, you'd have to include inside somewhat.
And then you run into the possibility, if it rains, what do? You don't have tents out there or anything.
Right.
You can't just, we might as well, if we're gonna do something like that, and we want to do something like that, we might as well look and see it, if we could rent tents and have it, like, remember we were considering having it in the parking lot at the town hall, if we wanted to do something outside and do something different.
Yeah, that's just, it wasn't turned into a food issue of how you get the food there and keep it hot and all of that. That's the same thing as having it in the park. How do you get the food there? How do you keep it hot? How do you,
Right.
that's,
Exactly.
that was difficult, but I would think that Indian Hill would have a way to do that, but I don't know. I'll have to ask them. How many, if we could push some tables outside and.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but it just.
I don't think it's gonna work.
I don't know. I had this, I don't know. I was wondering if we could have it outside and not have it outside, but push some more tables outside. Not in April. I'm talking about in like June or something, we could ever
just
find a
spread
date.
it out.
Well, I think
And then
we,
we're gonna have people fighting about who's gonna sit outside. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think that's gonna
Right.
work.
Yeah, you're probably right. Nancy, go ahead, Nancy.
I was just gonna say, if you call to find out what dates are available, we don't have to wait till next month to find that out. Maybe just send because that might even choose our date,
Yes.
what's
All right.
available. So just maybe if you find out, just send an email out to the group and we can decide then.
Yep, okay. All right, so I will call them tomorrow, tell them we want to push it off because of COVID, and when is the, give me 3 available dates on a Friday or a Saturday, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and is Sunday an option? Sunday afternoon?
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Nancy Mankey, go ahead. Nancy, your
muted.
hand up.
Sorry, I didn't lower it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about Sunday, but I guess if that was all that was there, then that's fine.
Geraldine?
Oh, and we need to have a policy for if you're not going to come. I think it's going to be hard to sell tickets because people are going to think they don't know if they can come or not. So that'll plan for that.
Yeah, my hope would be if we pushed it out far enough, we wouldn't have to have a COVID policy and we could just, if you're sick, you're sick. Sorry. It's like if you bought a ticket to a concert and you were sick, you would be
Right.
sick.
Give
I
your
guess.
ticket to somebody else.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Okay. All right. Well, we'll work on that and I will send out an email as soon as I hear back from them and see what happens. Yes.
Just as a note, don't start having a meeting on email, please. That'll be in violation of FOI. So just send it out to them, but you guys need to have a discussion in your public session, not back and forth on an email to decide
Okay,
that
great.
date.
If we have a subcommittee meeting, does it have to be on,
Well, we don't have a subcommittee created, really.
we did, we had a subcommittee
Yeah,
to
we
pick
did.
the food and whatnot. We created that back.
In last summer.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
We did. It was Susan, myself, Mel,
Melanie.
yep, and Allison.
Allison.
As long
Yeah.
as it's not a quorum of the board itself, then you'll be fine, but just
Okay.
make sure that it's just the subcommittee.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
It'll have to come back to the full board to say, okay, if we need to do a special meeting, just let me know. We can always get it set up for you.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, I guess that takes care of that. Moving on, we had talked about trying to have some kind of family event in the park. I did some research about the possibility of having a fishing derby. There is some concern that Mill Pond might not be deep enough. But we don't have a way to measure how deep it is because of the way the ice is right now. It's not stable enough to go out there and measure, so it would be a problem. We have a call out to somebody in DEP to maybe they have something on record. I don't know. Nobody seems to know, so it's hard because you just don't know how deep for lack of a better word, crap that's in the bottom how much room it's taking up. Geraldine, did you have something you wanted to say?
Oh, yeah, I was just could ask the town manager and maybe he can research it.
I did ask several people in the town and no one seems to have an answer. That's the problem.
When was it dredged last? Somebody must know because it was dredged and they've got to have a measure when
Right.
it was dredged and somebody should be able to estimate. I mean, when I say somebody, someone with, water training. I'm gonna say that's gotta be on record someplace. I realize you tried and
Yep, I'm
someplace.
still looking.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
It was,
But we should be able to find out when it was dredged. There's gotta be some measurements from when it was dredged.
long time ago. Bill, are you there? DeMayo?
Yes.
Do you remember when it was dredged?
Oh, it's a lot of years ago. Probably 15 or 20 years ago. It
Okay,
would be, eutrophication and sediment. We know it's only 3 or 4 feet deep. So the 3 park guys that work the pond all the time are pretty clear that it's it's not 8 and 10 feet deep that you need.
Okay,
Even out by the island?
Yeah, by the island, there might be a spot, but that wouldn't be big enough for all the fish would go all over the place. They wouldn't find the depth of the water. They would not likely they would all go in one area.
I have a hard time understanding why they are worried about the temperature of the water and having this earlier before the water gets hot, because it's a catch and release thing. So if you put them back, the water's going to get hot eventually, and the same thing's going to happen. So I don't understand why they say, well, if you're going to have a fishing derby, it's got to be, May, early May, because the same fish are going to be there in June. So why, I just don't get why there's a concern.
Okay, so most fishing derbies aren't catch and release. It's catch, cut the tail, and let the kids take them home. That's how most children's fishing derbies are run. So they don't expect you to put the fish back.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we're weird or whatever, but I could tell you my son went to that fishing derby, when he was a kid for a long time. We never took a fish home. I never saw anybody else take a fish home. So I don't know. I never knew they would. Would you eat something?
Windsor
like
does
that?
one.
Yeah.
Windsor does one too, and they catch and release.
They catch and release. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't eat something that came out of that pond. That's like you.
so what kind of volunteerism would we need at an event like that? That sounds very, very volunteer heavy.
Generally, when I've been to them in the past, you need somebody that will sit at a table and measure the fish and with the scale and whatever. And used to be the Boy Scouts would do it. And usually there's just people walking around that will help people, if they get caught, they need to bait a hook or whatever, and just help them out.
But I'm also, well, may I just say, if this is going to be catch and release, that has to happen fast before you just are throwing a bunch of dead and dying fish back into the pond. That doesn't really count as catch and release. So if there's got to be enough time to go over to a table, unhook, does the fish get unhooked? The minute it comes out of the water, does it go in a bucket, then go to the table?
That's the way I always did it. I don't know.
I'm just thinking that I feel like that requires some dexterity and knowledge about what you're doing, rather than just have, somebody who never did it and say, okay, this is how you're going to do this. And, taking a hook out's not the easiest thing if you haven't done it before. I'm also thinking of compassion toward the fish and the kind of people who are going to get up in arms as far as it not being a kind thing to do.
Fishing,
and I'm not necessarily one of them. By like I said, I'm not speaking because I'm against it, but I'm just saying I feel like this could trigger some not great publicity.
Really?
Yes, really. Then it's not. Let's just say taking a fish out and not throwing it back in 2 seconds later, and even hooking the fish in the first place. Again, you could have PETA sitting there. And it's one thing if a regular person just goes out and does it. I'm sure there's people who harass them also. But if it's a townwide event, I definitely think you have to look at the optics of that in this day and age.
To be honest, I don't know that I agree. I think a lot of other towns do them. Windsor's been doing one for years and years, and the kids just go in and catch the fish and throw them back. And I think it's generally looked at as a pretty positive event. They've been doing it for a long time.
Berlin does it at Sage Park, and it's a 2-day event because they have so many people.
Yeah, like I'm saying, they have volunteers who have been doing it for years and years. Where are those people?
When the Windsor one, because my husband just went in and helped one year to take a fish off the hook. We could probably get Boy Scouts or my husband. I don't know that he's ever fished. It was just volunteers. I don't know that it was anything special.
I'll just say we have not had a plethora of volunteers for some of the events that we have been doing with this group.
Maxwell.
Yeah, I think that point Kathy just made us fair, but I know New Britain did one at I don't remember where it was, but they did a fishing derby for their 150th, and it was very well received.
Geraldine?
I like fish. So I prefer to, I have no opinion about it.
You like fish or you like to fish?
No, I don't fish. So
Okay. James, did you have your hand up?
I do, because I have access to information. So
Okay.
the average depth of the pond is about 2.6 feet. Maximum depth in a few of the areas is 5 feet. It was dredged in the 60s and then in 1999.
Thank you.
The material from 1999 was placed upon the ball fields.
I remember that. So that was over 20 years ago.
Yep.
And so those depth markings are based on 20 years ago?
That was lifted out in September of 1997 when they were reviewing the permit for it.
Why didn't I just come to you? Man, I made 10 calls. So confusing. If that's all the depth of the pond is, how did they ever have fishing derbies there? I don't understand. That's kind of weird. Okay. Geraldine, your hand's up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Anybody else have a hand up that I'm missing here? Nope. Her hand's up again. Okay. Okay, so what about the tag sale? I had a call from a woman and she hasn't called me back, actually emailed me back from Greater Hartford Women's. Is that what it's called? It's not Junior Women's anymore. It's called Women's Association. It's Weathersfield and Newington put together. Maybe somebody else.
GFWC.
Thank you. Greater Hartford Women's.
Greater
something.
Federation.
Greater Federation
Women's Club.
Okay. I haven't heard back from her. They were looking to do a tag sale in the center, in the Constitution Square, and that first weekend in June.
Yes.
And Bill had sent it on to me to ask if we wanted to partner with them. My only concern about that is that graduation, that's going to be graduation weekend. And it's also, I think it could be, people are going to be busy. There's going to be a lot of graduation parties and whatever, so that we might not get the kind of turnout that we might like for that time of year. I'm assuming, right now graduation is set then. I think the date's pretty locked from what I hear, but.
What is the date? What is the date?
June 7th, I think. Does that sound right? Whatever that, I don't have a calendar with me.
Is it a Tuesday?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's the 7th.
Yeah, so right now but it depends on the weather, I think, and where they decide to go.
And so are they talking about the 11th, which is the lead up to Motorcycle Madness, correct, Bill?
Yeah, the 9th, 10th, and 11th is a big weekend for Mill Pond Park.
Right. Well, we weren't talking about, I'm going to talk about our tag sale and we'll see if they go in together. So Jerry and I have been talking about it, and we thought that the best day, which is what we were kind of hoping to piggyback it on top of all the events happening the same week, to just have a big old, it's sort of pre-extravaganza, but having a whole bunch of things happening the same week, I think would help to synergistically help each of them. I don't think the people, I think if you have kids at the moment and you're associated with the schools, graduation is a big deal, but if you don't know anybody graduating, I don't know that it really affects people's plans who aren't affected by all those graduates. Just throwing that out, and that's like earlier in the week. But Saturdays are the typical day that people want to go to tag sales. I do understand that the Kiwanis is on Sundays, but we certainly want to avoid that. And Motorcycle Magnus, what time does that start? Is that in the afternoon?
Yeah, 3 o'clock. So you could do a tag sale
You
from
know, they're
7 in
doing
the
a
morning.
tag sale. I mean, I think that's I guess part of it, I feel, I think partnering with anybody is a good thing. I think the more people that we bring in and have it work. So the question is, would you work with their tags, you know, those ladies? I hate to say ladies, it is ladies.
Yes.
To do a central tag sale, but also try to bring on board people having them at home, and any kind of publicity would just get, you know, help the people who are having tag sales at home. And people I don't think they're really competitive with each other. People tend to like comb every last table to find what they want. So I think that's a very interesting possibility, is to work it with them. So do you want Geraldine and me to follow up with whoever that was?
Okay, this said the first Saturday in June, so that wouldn't be that Saturday, correct?
Oh, I guess you're right. That would be
the one
the
before.
first one is the 4th. Okay. You know, are they, well, it is the big, you know, it's the week leading into it, so it maybe would have just as much buzz. And why did they have that date nailed down, or that was just a exploratory conversation?
I could answer that. They had one a couple of years ago on the first Saturday of June, and they were very successful in making, I think, $800 or something like that. I just warn you, the reason why I wanted to put her together with Eileen and you guys was that I thought if they did it the weekend before you guys would not be successful. So I thought it'd be better to merge if you can get along, you know, and play nice in the sandbox. You might all win if you do it on the same day.
Yeah, I'm saying exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
Bill?
I agree with you, Kathy.
Bill?
Yes?
Is there a fee for using the parking lot?
Yeah, it's like 100 off the top of my head, $140 for the day.
And does that include the I was going to say pavilion area, the area where the tent usually is?
Yeah, we're building a 20 by 20 metal structure, and it includes a handicap accessible porta potty, a regular porta potty, and electricity. It's
And
very
when is
similar
that-
to the pavilion prices.
Okay, so, and is that going to be done by the summer? No, right?
I ordered it. It takes about 8 weeks, and then we'll see if we can put it up in time.
So renting the parking lot would be $140, and then renting the pavilion would be an additional.
No, that's the whole place. And you get the 25 picnic tables.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's great.
Okay.
Well, like I said, do you want Geraldine and me to pursue that with the Greater Women's Federation of Weathersfield and Newington?
I'll forward you the information. Okay.
Great. Okay. And so where did you leave it with them? They contacted you, but they never got back to you, or?
Bill sent me the email. I sent an email to the lady and I have not heard back from her.
Okay.
I think
All right.
if Kathy, if you contact Pat Mahoney, she's pretty.
Yeah, I know Pat.
Yeah, she's very active. She's very active in that group, and Pam Gard is very active in that group.
And who else?
Pam Gard.
Okay, I know Pat Mahoney. So, well, I'll contact Pat. Let me touch base with her since I know her. And we can
Yes.
start- Pardon me?
She's a cert.
Maybe they'll move their
Right,
date.
she's our CERT team leader.
Yeah, maybe they'll move their date to the third. Whatever. What did we say? 9 minus 7 is to the 9th.
Well, the 9th is a Thursday. So what I'd like to do.
11th. I'm sorry, 11th.
Right. Yep. Okay. And I think I have another question, Bill, and this is just in general. And that's that, how can we piggyback on to some of your advertising. So like if you're advertising, you know, the 3 events that are happening, then how do we not get lost in the shuffle? And do you have any secrets for us? Do you see what I'm saying? You know, to make
Yeah,
Newington all exciting.
Yeah, if I told you the secrets, I'd have to kill you. No.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, I can get an article written, but I think the point is to have it all together, like, oh, this is happening in Newington, we're having this, and this. I'd like to be one of the thises.
Yeah. Yeah,
And-
I think we could work that out.
Okay.
I can do it online as well. That's not a big issue to, we don't have a paper really to put it in anymore, so that's difficult. But I can certainly, you know, blast it out online. Geraldine? Your
Yeah.
hands up.
Oh, okay, sure.
You don't, okay, hands down, got you. All right. Okay, and do we want to do it anything else beside the tag sale on that day?
Well, again, I'm kind of back to, we didn't get that many volunteers for the history walk that weren't part of the individual thing. So do we have that many people from our small group to be divided on 2 events on the same day? Unless they were at different times. See what I'm saying? Even if it's just helping set up in the middle or talk to people, you know, do we just go with that versus trying to get, you know, the whole original concept, which I think this part is great because I think having people who are active in a group want to do it, I think that's really terrific. But we also wanted to see if people wanted to have tag sales at their own homes that would be part of our publicity, and could we make a, you know, like not a map, and it could all be online, but just to say, and for other tag sales in town, here's this, and this.
Mm-hmm. So
that would require no help.
Right. So my question is, we had discussed the idea of doing a family event since the beginning of this thing, something for families to enjoy, which is where the fishing derby was coming in, something in the park. So could we do something in the park on that day, on a different day? Is there something that we would like to do that would be a family-friendly event? Geraldine, did you want to talk?
Oh, I just wanted to say that the Greater Hartford Women's Club has very good volunteers. Just FYI.
Beautiful. Okay. I don't know, you know, there's always the blow up rides from the National Guard that we could put them in the park and have a little fun time there with kids. That's not a bad thing. I think they pretty much bring a lot of their people with them. The problem is we'd have to work with Parks and Recreation for power. I think they bring generators, but I'd have to check that out. Sounds like the fishing derby can't happen. I don't know if there's something else that we might want to do that would be a family event. Doesn't necessarily have to be on the same day as a tag sale. Could be later on in the summer. I don't know. I feel like we've missed the boat on doing something for families. You know, we tried the scavenger hunt thing that not too many people participated in. That was supposed to be a family thing. Anybody have an idea?
Are there going to be any food trucks, or is that only on a certain day? Because that seems to be a family type of thing.
There's food trucks at Motorcycle Madness, you know, when they're there, yes.
But isn't food
they'll
truck
be there-
Friday, right?
They'll be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, good. There you go.
Susan?
What about like a movie night or something?
Oh, an outdoor movie night?
Yes.
That'd be fun.
That's a good
Not
idea.
bad. I know we have to, you know, rent a screen and go from there. Jaws. They're watching that in school. It's the funniest thing. The kids have never seen it. It's like,
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm like, I don't want to go to the beach. Bill, how much does it cost to rent a movie screen? I should know this, but I don't.
1,000 to 2,500.
Oh, that expensive?
Yep, with the sound.
Sound is always good. Yeah.
Yes. It's helpful.
And the only thing with those are, well, it depends on what month you're playing. If you're thinking of June, or you have to wait so long for the only kind of movies you can show are G movies, and a G movie only attracts young kids, and young kids go to sleep early, and it gets dark. It's not dark until 8:30 or 8:45. So it's you almost fight yourself on those shows.
Yeah, I'll also throw out mosquitoes. I think mosquitoes have gotten way worse over the last few years. And I don't know. I'm just kind of picturing being outside in the evening in one place with mosquitoes. Just saying.
Yep.
What if we did it in the gym, Bill?
Yeah, that's possible as long as, yep. The gym floor, everybody's very sensitive about the gym floor, but I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of movie screen would we have to rent for that?
You could, Party People, you can go online for either Party People or Big Daddy's Racing. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 companies now that have them. In fact, I think there might be a Parks and Recreation department that bought one and rents it out. So you could do.
Isn't there a movie screen in the gym that rolls up? Am I thinking?
You're cutting in and out, Bill.
You came broken up.
Oh, isn't there a movie screen in the gym?
No.
Up the ceiling?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
But you could put up a portable movie screen if you don't want to do, the big thing, and then you could get an LCD, one of those little ViewSonics. And for that matter, we have a beautiful sound system in the gym. We could probably hook it up to that. Maybe you could do it for almost free. But you have there's a thing called Swank, SWANK, that you have to pay a fee once you open up movies to the public, because the Actors Guild has a fee attached to that. So that could be like $200 to $1,000 for the night.
That's a big difference. Does it depend on the movie or something?
Yeah, it depends on the sale of the movie. Yeah.
Okay. Susan? Go ahead, Susan. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry.
There
Am I
we go.
unmuted now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. We have somebody that will volunteer a 100-foot inflatable movie screen.
Excuse me?
That's
100-foot inflatable movie screen. That's James.
No, it's not 100 foot. It's 100 inch.
Oh, 100 inch. Oh, I'm sorry. 100 inch. That's what I meant to say.
100 inches. You have one, James?
Yeah, I picked one up at Aldi's.
At Aldi's?
Yeah.
Well, 100 inches is
65 feet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if that's large enough, or I don't know how large the other units are usually.
Can I throw in an idea that might save the floor and make something fun?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder about, especially since this is going to be geared to littler kids, and if it's indoors, the darkness doesn't matter. You could turn into a pajama party, and they have to come in their pajamas, and you could say you have to wear either slippers or flip-flops, and then your floor is protected, and it's all, again, kind of fun.
Good idea.
I like it. Good.
Okay. So if we did this on a weeknight, we're gonna have to do it on a weekend, right?
Correct.
Okay. And in June, April, May or June? What do you think?
I would avoid school.
I would do it in June after school gets out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And doesn't the library have a subscription for movies?
They might. I think we can check with Lisa on that.
Yeah, because I think for some reason, I think they have something because when they show movies, they need to have that, don't they?
I'm not sure. I don't know their rules.
Okay.
Doesn't the senior center? They have movies for groups.
Yeah,
I don't-
I know
I don't
Wyndham
think-
has that.
I might suggest that we don't say too much about that on a public broadcast like this, because you might get other people in trouble.
Right. Okay. We'll check it out. All right. I will look into this movie night. See if we can book something. Does this meet with everybody's approval, having a movie night? Can somebody make a motion, please?
I make a motion for movie night. Indoors.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Okay, so we will plan this movie night, June sometime. All right.
I thought you were gonna wait till school ends, right?
Well-
Or no?
School's over like the 6th or something like that. You know, school's over very early. Well, unless, I don't know. These snow days, they might be out late. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. But yeah, we'll figure out something when we know a little bit more about school and when we
Yeah,
can
there's-
get a
There's
screen.
not gonna be a lot of days open in the gym. I can tell you that in the end of June.
Okay,
Yeah, we've got basketball, elite basketball, we've got travel basketball, and we've got all kinds of training for the lifeguards and camp counselors. So we'd have to check and be specific on what we want.
when does camp start?
Second or third week of June.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Okay.
Hey,
so we're
does-
late June,
Bill,
yeah.
does the town have a popcorn machine?
Yes, we do.
Okay, because I was thinking we could offer free popcorn.
Yeah, we have a
Oh, yeah.
full concession stand. We could even work on soft serve ice cream, pretzels, hot dogs, whatever you want.
You allowed food in the gym?
Yes, we do.
Wow, okay. All right. Okay, so we'll work on something. We'll get that going. So right now, Kathleen and Geraldine are gonna work on the tag sale. I'll work on the getting a date for the, whatever we're gonna call it, and the movie night. And, okay, moving on.
Well,
Yeah.
Eileen, let me just confirm, as far as the tag sale goes, we're choosing a date, which is Saturday morning, early afternoon, January, June 11th. And we'll quote, permission to rent from Bill, to rent the parking lot,
Yes,
so that we can get on, on whatever calendar Bill's got.
yes,
I think you might want to do the motion might say, depending on what you come together with the GFWC, that they may want to do the first Saturday.
Well,
know what I
that's
mean?
what I'm gonna talk to Pat Mahoney about, because if we're gonna partner, again, I mean, kind of either way, but let's just say I thought it would all be great if it was all just a big Newington week.
Yeah, and I think
But,
I think Kathy, you might want to do tag sales early, like 7 or 8 in the morning. I think is a big deal for tag people.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
7, I think, is when people show up at someone's house that they don't want them to, but
Right,
you're absolutely correct. Nope, that's fine. That's, in other words, I was thinking more like, if it's a group thing like that, more like 9 to 1, but I have no problem with 8 to 1. And
Yeah,
I think
okay.
you're right. The really, I want to get out there, tag sailors, that's when they're going to want to do that. So, yeah, I'll talk to Pat. I think we could come to a meeting of the minds. So is let's just say, I mean, I can't make a decision, but I think I just want to make sure that that's left open for us. And do we have to ask if both the 4th and the 11th would be left open for us? You know, it's a month is a long way away. No one's going to sneak in there and rent that porta potty under us.
No,
so to speak.
it every day we get phone calls for it. It's a very popular place.
Okay, so tell me how to make this. In other words, I don't want to meet here in a month and have that area, have that not be available. So what do we do about that right now? Since
I say
we can't
tomorrow
make a
morning
decision.
or tonight you call Pat, come up with a deal and call the office and book it, whatever date you want.
Okay, that's fine, but am I allowed to, you know, now this is addressed to Eileen. Can Geraldine and I make it, Geraldine, me, Bill, and Pat Mahoney make an executive decision and pick one of those 2 dates, especially since we can walk away from this meeting and say tentatively, we're picking the 11th. But if that doesn't work, do we need to wait a month to come back and go for the 4th?
Someone needs to make a motion.
Just make it with an alternative date as well. The
Right.
11th with an alternative to the 4th.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Ready? I'm making a motion that the 150th investigate partnering with the Greater Hartford Women's Group. I will contact Pat Mahoney, and the goal is to have a tag sale in Constitution Square, ideally on Saturday, June 11th, renting the accoutrement from the Parks and Rec Department with an alternate date of June 4th. Did that work?
Second.
All in favor?
Who seconded?
Aye.
Aye.
Who seconded the motion?
I did.
Who's aye? Oh, Robert. Thank you, Robert. Okay.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Kathy, just so I know my own self, are you going to also let them do it at their homes too?
I think we're going to work on that, but that doesn't require much other than to include that in the advertising. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like that idea. And maybe you could call it Newington's 150th anniversary largest tag sale in history.
Okay, I like it. Sure. Tag sale in Newington, put Newington on the map.
That's right. Largest tag sale ever. No town could beat us.
Make it this way, Bill. It's the 150th tag sale, but it's been waiting 150 years.
It's all the stuff is 150 years old.
That's and I'm not sure. I'm just going to reiterate that I've talked to Deanna from Karma's and the Chamber of Commerce, and she was excited about it. And she was going to have a table outside beyond her regular tables and invite people who lived places where it wasn't convenient to have a tag sale to set up in her parking lot on the same day. So I can also see it's possible that businesses could be involved, that would be appropriate if they wanted to. So we'll just throw that out, and hopefully that will bring them some business to, you know, get something to eat or whatever. Oh, Geraldine, you want to talk about the Historical Society tag sale? Maybe. Same day.
Please. Anna's next. Anna, did you have something to say?
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, so for those people that are having the tag sales at their own homes, do they need to call and get a permit themselves?
Yes, we think they do, but I was planning to contact whoever's in charge of that in advance and give them a heads up and ask them how we should do this.
Okay.
So we're definitely aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carolyn, did you have your hand up?
Oh, it's the police department that you have to get a permission.
Correct.
Well, I get that, but who at the police department? I don't think I have to call the chief about getting a tag sale.
I'm sure that if you just call the regular routine number, they'll put you through to whoever's in charge of tag sales. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little hard to get directed to the right department, just so you know, when you're not when you're not in the know, because I have tried to get some info and it's hard to choose which of the things. So if nobody knows more than I do, that's certainly fine. Well, let me just speak, because Geraldine had talked to the Historical Society usually has a tag sale and they don't have one in the calendar this year. So they're sort of in the loop as far as possibly participating. I think that's as far as it got. Am I right, Geraldine?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go, Kathy, if you go 666-8445 and hit 5, that gets you to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher can move you and just ask them about the tag sale person.
Okay, let's see, 666-844, and then hit 5, dispatcher, tag sale. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So for now, tag sale will be Geraldine and Kathleen, and you can report back to us in March about where things go, or send an email and give me an update, or whatever we need to do for the next month's meeting.
Sure.
As far as so we decided we were going to do Paul Indian Hill family event would be our movie night. The tag sale will be hopefully in June. All right, is there anything else we need to talk about for that?
I think we're good.
Anybody hands up? No? Yes? Excuse me? I missed something. I don't know. Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything to add under old business? That's not actually old business, but whatever, I guess it was. All right. Treasurer's report?
Just pulling it up. Balance in the account is $14,190.13. Recent activity is really just a deposit. I think that was Eileen probably from the Night of Lights in Karma.
Actually, I have about just short of $500 that I picked up today from Karma's, and we have only 8 ornaments left. So that was a huge success, guys. That was very good. Not bad. 8 ornaments left out of all of them. So we made some money. So that was good. Well, we didn't get stuck with any either. So that's very, very good. So that's nice news. So we have $14,000.
$14,190.13.
Okay. So we have some
Excluding
money.
500. So I guess really somewhere around 14,700.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. And so as far as new business, we're not going to get a project in for February. Our next project would be probably, not much between, if we're going to scratch the ball for April, we don't have anything for April. May, June would be our next thing, would be the pajama party, right?
Eileen, do you want the committee to give you some authorization to spend money, or at least book entertainment if you do decide on a pajama party? I can kind of envision either a clown making balloons, or a magician, or both, as kids walk in, and maybe walking around the gym. But if you don't book those in the next week or so, they're going to be booked solid for the summer.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, Bill, that the pajama party would take up the double gym, or just half?
How many kids you think you could get?
No idea. But my guess would be, if you, I don't know where you'd put the screen. If kids sat on the floor and you only pulled out half the things, could the other half of the gym have some sort of activities going on, like a balloon maker, or a clown, or a
Yes.
guy on stilts, or whatever, you know what I mean? So if we just had half the gym for the movie and half the gym for whatever else might be going on.
Yep. And you could close the big doors, the partition doors, like halfway or 3/4 of the way, to give it some some break.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids could still flow back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we also bought I haven't opened them up yet, but I just bought these for the preschoolers. These giant blue bricks, blue blocks, it's called. It's the latest thing for education, and they can build giant it's like a big giant Tinker Toy set, but made out of soft foam blue blocks. We'll have those ready too. We can put those all over the gym floor and they can build those and play with them.
So that would be on that side opposite of the movie, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think that might be something. Okay. So if
we could ask the Parks and Rec Commission Tuesday night to waive the fees for the rentals of the gym also, if that was the wish of the committee.
yes. I'm just trying to think about how much we could charge for somebody to come into a movie. $5, $4, $3. I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was free. I thought it was free.
No.
I wasn't, sorry.
Well, I'm not hitting the button, but I'm raising my hands. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Hi, I think that we have enough money in our account. I would love to make this a very inclusive. I think we should spend the money on an event like this. And I like the idea of it being free, but I also wonder if it was a real nominal fee, like $2 or something, that might keep out, like roving teenagers, or I don't know, maybe I'm such a Debbie Downer all the time, but just kind of throwing that out at you that I think we should spend the money on a fun family event like this. I'd love it if they could waive the fee. I think that'd be great with all the different groups working together. And I think I'm kind of on the fence about charging something, not so much to make money, but just to keep things a little under control. I don't know. I encourage people to give their opinion there.
Geraldine?
Yeah.
Hands up.
I thought that Bill was gonna have some food, maybe just charge him a little bit for food.
Well, that money would go to Parks and Rec, not to us. That's their food,
Oh.
not ours. You know what I mean? So that would be a different kind of thing. If we don't want to charge anything, my suggestion would be to bring a can of food.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah,
How
that's
about
good.
How about if a different way of thinking, I think Kathy's point is well taken. Maybe we, in all our advertising, we say this is a movie made for X amount of years old child in their parents. So I don't know if we determine what's elementary school now, it's fourth grade. Maybe it's an elementary fourth grade and under.
I don't think that works.
What's
I don't
that?
think that works. What if you have a family with 5 little, 5 kids and 2 of them are older than 12 or something? You're going to say, no, you can't come to this movie night?
No.
That doesn't work.
I don't think
we're going to get roving teenagers in there.
If you pick the right
I
movie,
doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah. If you pick the right movie, I don't think that the kids, bigger kids would come.
And then I thought if you charged maybe $2 or $3 for the ticket could include a free popcorn or free ice cream or free water, whatever the heck you do. You could do that and we could work out some kind of deal.
That's good. I like that.
Anybody else got a hand up? Nope, I don't see anybody. Geraldine has a hand up. What's up, Geraldine?
I'm done.
Okay. So if we have to pay for a little bit of entertainment, maybe some food or something, or some little project for a kid to do and make or whatever, we're gonna need a little budget for this. Can somebody make a motion for a sum of money we can spend to plan this, please?
I have a question. Do you have to rent the screen? We're back to, what are the true charges to set it up? We need a screen, right? Did we ever walk away with a screen? 100 inches is only twice as much as a big TV. Is that big enough?
That's not big enough for a gym.
So again, I think our biggest expense is going to be a screen that's going to make it great. Bill said we have a sound system. Might have to rent the movie. So I think our budget's got to start with those fixed expenses to actually make it happen. And we don't quite know what those are yet, right?
Right.
Bill, what did you say they were?
You can email or Google party people, Dave Younes.
And Bill, you're going to tell us the available dates, right?
Well, tomorrow we'll have Sam check the computer and find out where we can have a complete free night.
Okay.
We can't get into the gym earlier than 6 o'clock because preschool still uses it until 5:45.
Oh, that sounds
So,
great. That
yeah.
sounds perfect. But I guess
Yeah.
the question is, I'm thinking about motion wise, can we leave it up to you? Obviously it is up to you, but I'm just saying, can we walk away from this meeting so that you're going to come in and say, and the date is going to be X and we'll accept it rather than have a
Yeah,
month?
I think you give the chairperson, Eileen, the authority to spend up to X amount of dollars towards this family movie night, depending on the cost. And then she would report back to the committee what all the costs are, the exact prices.
Yeah.
Because we don't know about Swank, we don't know about the screen rental, and we don't know if the sound, there's a whole bunch of details that have to go into this. The magician will probably be, $250, $300. The clown is $300. I would say if you gave Eileen the authority to spend up to $2,000, and then if you don't want to spend that much, then you determine a fee to charge each kid to try to get closer to that number.
That sounds good to me. And the date we don't really have to worry about because you're not going to give that date to anybody else between now and our next meeting.
I think we just need a motion to say we have X amount of dollars to spend on movie night. Giving permission to plan and implement a movie night and spend X dollars. Otherwise, all that other stuff is just up in the air at this point. It doesn't have to be when, just has to be that we can plan it and move forward.
Well, I get that, but I thought there were very, very limited nights that we can have it.
Yeah, tomorrow morning I'll find out what days are available and let Eileen know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine. So that can go ahead without us. It's all in Eileen's hands, which is fine with me. I just want to make sure we were doing it correctly.
Yeah. I think Eileen, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
We just need somebody to make a motion that we can spend a certain amount of money.
I make a motion that we authorize Eileen Francolino, our chairperson, to spend up to $2,500 on a family movie night for our 150th anniversary celebration.
Second.
I second. Well,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Beautiful. Okay, we're in business.
And just
Yay.
remember, this will be the first time the gymnasium's air conditioned.
Yay.
Hey, can I ask a question really quick?
Go
That's
ahead,
sort of
Hank.
on the same tune. They
Yeah.
have is a 20-foot inflatable screen large enough?
Yes.
Mhm.
They have one on Amazon.com for $179.99.
An
That
inflatable,
sounds cool.
an inflatable screen
almost-
is how much?
$179.99.
That's to-
Really?
Wow, that's to purchase? Not rent,
Yeah, a
right?
20-foot inflatable outdoor projector. Yeah.
What
And
does
then-
it come with?
It's a floor mount. It's 12 feet by 7 feet with an aspect ratio of 16. I have no idea. Let's see.
12 by 7 feet.
12 by 7 or 17?
No, it says it's a 20-foot inflatable screen.
But why did you just say 12 by 7?
I don't know. That's what it said. Let's see.
That's
Here's a 20.
small.
Let's see. Hold on.
Must have a lot of puff
Lot
around
of-
the side,
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Maybe
know?
that's not what we want.
Must have like a big bumper around the side, like like a kid's iPad, it has the big thick screen so it doesn't get,
Yeah, it does.
yeah.
It's
Susan,
a 20-foot diagonal. What?
is that the PPXIA?
Hold on a second. It's I don't know. Where are you saying that?
I've got one on there, but that's a 20 foot. You can get them in a 25 for 350 or a 33 for 800.
Oh, wow.
Bill's thinking about something right now.
We can push up it on Amazon.
That sounds pretty cool.
All
I
right.
think we'd probably be better off renting it though. I'm thinking, have a company come in and do it. But
Okay.
whatever you guys want to do.
Okay. All right. We'll work on that tomorrow, Bill. I'll call you. Maybe I'll have the day off. Wouldn't that be nice? Ah.
I'm getting all kinds of phone calls from the park guys right now. So when we're
I
done, we'll
know.
find out. Yeah.
How do you know, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else we need to discuss before we adjourn?
I have a question.
Yeah. go ahead.
Since everything has been, you know, me and my t-shirts, since everything's been extended and we have multiple opportunities that we could sell them and we have money, I think we should get t-shirts in the common sizes and have them available to sell.
Where?
Well, we have the extravaganza, we have the tag sale. You could have a table at all those 3 events, Motorcycle Madness. I would volunteer to sit at a table because, like I said, I've been asked about that. People want to walk away from this. If the 150th is going through July of this year, I think there's plenty of opportunities to sell it. And I really think they're going to sell. And I think we've got the money to buy them if we got stuck with extra ones. If you sold the Christmas ornaments, I think you'll sell t-shirts, and I think you could also sell them at Karma's. So I am recommending strongly that we have t-shirts available to sell at upcoming events.
Anybody else?
Where'd you buy them from before?
Melanie.
Melanie.
Sorry.
How much were they?
Long sleeves were, depends on when you bought them. Long sleeves went on sale at the end. Short sleeves, I think we sold them for 15 or 20 bucks. I forget. Do you remember, Susan?
I don't remember.
20.
I don't remember.
Sold them for 20.
20, yeah.
And I'd certainly just get short sleeves because we're going into the summer.
Yeah.
And again, what did we, you know, we know what we got left with. We don't want to order those sizes, and we kind of know what ones went like a flash. So you just don't get every size. You get, you know, small is so far away from me in my life that I, you know, medium, large, extra large, 1X.
I think we only have 1, possibly 2 shirts left.
Oh, that's great. So,
Yeah.
and that would make my point. People bought them and they want them, and they kept asking me about them, and we didn't have some of the sizes by that time.
Mhm.
I mean, if we were at the end of our, you know, our tenure here, but we're not. We've got all these events coming up, and I think they go like hotcakes.
Would you want 100 shirts? How many shirts you want?
That part I have no idea.
I would
don't know
say
what-
no, not any more than 100 shirts. And I think at this point, if we were going to make them, I think they would have to be something unique and creative, recognizing this is really 151, you know, like that it would have to be a kind of a, something that I don't know. I'd have to look online for an idea, but
But-
something that
But you've
recognizes
already
it.
got your design, so that would add a level of complexity to change your design.
Oh, you just wanted to have the same thing? The same
Yeah.
shirt all over again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you could have a different color. You could have like a light blue. Were they all navy?
yep.
Why don't you just have a different color? You know, as I said, I'm just throwing light blue out at it as a summary color, but we have a beautiful logo, and I don't think most people who buy it are gonna, you know, we're still celebrating the 150th anniversary, even though we were slammed with a pandemic.
Yeah,
Would it-
people
would
don't.
it-
when
Would it be
started-
funny if you had a t-shirt that said Newington, I survived Newington's 150th anniversary year?
That's what I'm saying. Something that would be funny, that would recognize the fact that we have survived and endured and made it through, you know? So I don't know. We'll have to,
Again, the point is, if we, you know, I'm just trying to keep it simple and, you know, using an existing logo. Plus, I think there's people who want a more plain one, and there might be people who want the one that says that. And so I think people who already bought a plain one might buy the new one. But anyway, that's just me throwing it out. I'd be thrilled if we had any kind of t-shirts, because like I said, I can't tell you how many people asked me if we had t-shirts.
The only thing about keeping it the same is those people who already have one are out of the market or out of your pool of potential buyers. If you had a
Sure.
different shirt, maybe those people who already bought one would buy a second one, that's.
Well,
that'll
like
be-
I said, that's why I'm recommending a different color.
Yeah. Geraldine, your hands up.
Yes, I agree. I think keep them the same logo. Because if there's still people that are on the website that want to buy a shirt that are on our 150th.
I think I have responded to anyone who asked and delivered several shirts. And I think the only one that I have, I might have two, and that's it. Anybody who asked, I don't think, I mean, there were a couple maybe I didn't have a size for, but mostly they were people that I was able to fulfill what they wanted.
Maybe we could unload them at Karma's Closet again.
Oh, yeah, she would sell them. I've talked to her about that. So,
Well, I'm sure
yeah.
she would volunteer to sell them. Whether they would go, I don't know. We could wait and see.
My opinion is, I would stick with the same logo. I mean, if I was just a citizen of Newington, I don't think I'd want to buy a t-shirt that says I survived the 150 committee with COVID. I mean, they weren't on the committee, so
No,
I would think
no.
they would just want a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was kind of only kidding around.
yeah. Well, we don't have to, I don't know, whose hands up? Geraldine, your hands up?
Oh, no, not really. I have issues with all of this, so.
Points for
No.
trying.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have input about t-shirts?
I'd have to think about it. I mean, I think it's a great idea, but I don't want to have, and we don't need to have we don't need to have all the sizes we had the last time, but I don't think we should get more than 100.
No.
How about if you
Yeah.
bought 50? How about if you bought 50 with a different colored shirt? So that way it makes it a little different. Use the same logo. And if other people wanted, like if they wanted different sizes, just buy large and extra large. And if they wanted different sizes, just take a list and have the company make them, and we'll give them to them, 2 or 3 weeks later. So you spend $500, 50 times $10 a shirt or something like that. And you spend 500 and hopefully you sell them for 20 and you make 1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you gotta deliver, and that's kind of a extra step in there.
Yeah,
that-
Just as a thought too, I mean, is this part of fundraising? I mean, we don't really need to fundraise anymore.
No.
I know people want shirts, but we have more money than we can spend right now.
Mhm.
Exactly. My
Yeah.
point is it's so people walk away with a t-shirt that's gonna say 150th on it as a commemoration of us having had a committee and the world's longest 150th celebration.
That's a good shirt.
Yeah,
There you go.
we could probably sell them at the concerts too, right, Bill?
Sure.
Yeah, we could do that. We still have pins that we need to sell too. We have not sold nearly enough of them, but we're getting there. We haven't had time. Because I would like to be able to set up at the concerts, because we need to display the quilt that was made for us and sell some tickets for the raffle for that, and the painting that was made for us, and display that and sell some tickets for that. Not so much that we need the money for the raffle or anything, but we need to be able to display and appreciate and show our gratitude to those who made those things for us, so that, their hard work is, out there for people to see. So I would like to be able to do that this summer, but we don't need to decide that tonight. That's something we can set up a schedule for later on.
Just so you know, June, we start concerts 12 to 3 at the municipal parking lot in conjunction with the Kiwanis. And then we're going to do it in September. And then July and August, we're going to do it every Saturday night from 5 to 8 at the municipal parking lot. So we're going to do like 35 concerts this year. And then every Thursday night at Mill Pond Park. So
That's great. That's great. I have one more input about t-shirts. I promise I'm almost done. And I think that's if we do get orders for them, I think we can have people come and pick them up at an upcoming event instead of getting into, I know I drove around with calendars and Eileen drove around with t-shirts, and we can leave it on them that they can come and pick them up.
It's true. Yep.
Yep.
Probably could order online too. I think Mel would be able to set that up for us if you ordered online, and maybe we could just order online and pick them up at the event. You know, we don't even have to sell them there. Maybe they could just order them online, or a little bit of both. We could do a little bit of both.
If somebody, if she wants to do that, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do we have anything else we need to talk about tonight? I think we're good. Yes. Oops.
Yeah, we're good.
Anna's making dinner. She's hungry.
I'm heating up my tea.
There you go. I haven't eaten my dinner. I'm hungry. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Okay, we did a lot of good business tonight. Anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wait, question.
Yes.
She came up with a question.
Who did?
There was a hand and a question.
Oh, too late.
I don't see a hand on my list. Who is that? I don't see any hands here.
I raised my hand to
There she
adjourn.
is.
I raised to adjourn.
Okay, so we made a motion and there's a second, and can we adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? All right, we'll see you next month and we'll report back to what we found out with our hard work. Thank you all for coming.
All righty, bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.